We're now going to use this template to demonstrate if and nested if statements. You can see that this spreadsheet is set up to record various expenditures. So we have the date, the description, the amount of the expenditure, and an account number. And the purpose of the spreadsheet is to take these expenditures and categorize them by spreading them into the appropriate columns such that the account number designated for each expenditure matches the column heading account number. So we're going to do that by beginning in cell F10, and I begin the if statement with an equal sign, equals if, begin parenthesis. Excel will provide you with the prompt that tells you what the argument is for each element of the function. So the first argument is the logical test. We're going to say if D10 equals F7, comma. Then the next argument is the value that we want to place in this cell if that's true, and the value that we want is the dollar amount, comma, and if it's false we want a 0, end parenthesis. Okay, so now we want to take that formula and we want to be able to copy it across the row. Before doing so, let's anchor the column references by putting a $sign in front of the D and a $sign in front of the C. And we're eventually going to want to copy that formula down as well vertically, so let's anchor the reference to row 7 by putting a $sign in front of it. Okay, and now let's copy that if statement across the row. And it appears to be working because the dollar amount of $122 appears under the 6600 account, which matches the account number. So now let's take that whole row and copy it down. Oops. Try that again. All right, we're going to copy that down to row 37. And again, it appears to be working. We can see that, for example, the dollar amount of $1,050.35 appears under the column for account 6180, and that matches the expenditure category there. Now let's demonstrate the nested if statement. So we're going to come over here to cell P10, and the logic of the nested if statement is as follows. We want to check the account number for each expenditure against the categories, the account numbers that appear as the column headings, and if in fact this account number does not match any of the other account number column headings, then we want the account number to appear in cell P10. So we begin with an if statement, begin parenthesis. We're going to say if D10 equals F7, comma, put a 0 here. So if that statement is true, we want a 0 because that means that this account number matches a previously specified account number and the dollar amount would already be in the spreadsheet in column F. If it's false, we want to go on to the next if statement. So begin with another if statement, begin parenthesis, if D10 equals G7, comma, put a 0 here, comma, if not, begin the next if statement. If D10 equals H7, comma, 0, comma, if not, the next if statement, and so on. So we're going to continually nest if statements within one another until we've checked the account number against all of the account column headings. And notice that we're only using the beginning parenthesis. We're going to close them all at the very end. Okay, last one. If D10 equals M7, comma, 0, comma. Now we're on the very last statement here, and if the account number has not matched any of the column headings, then we want that account number to go into cell P10. So we're going to use as our final argument D10, and now we close all of the parentheses. And you can see as you type the end parenthesis, they're color-coded with the beginning parentheses, and when we get to the last one, it's black, and we hit enter. Okay, now to really see whether or not that's working, we're going to copy it down. Before doing so, we want to anchor the reference to row 7 by putting a $sign in front of all of the 7s. Okay, and now we should be able to copy that formula down. Oops. Okay, we copy that down. Alright, and let's check it. So we can see now that account 6050 has been placed in column P, and that appears to be correct because that doesn't match any of the column heading account numbers. Likewise, account number 8000 doesn't match any of the account number headings 6170 and 6700. So it appears that the nested if statement has worked correctly.